Hi everyone. Welcome to the 30th Tea Talk. First of all, thanks for joining. This is a very different Tea Talk per se because today we are going to discuss about exploring opportunities abroad, particularly from a research perspective. Um, Before getting started, it is better I introduce myself. I am Debashish Mishra. I'm a PhD student at Texas A&M University. My research involves working with satellite data sets of soil moisture, evapotranspiration, and understanding how terrestrial ecosystems govern the soil moisture ET coupling. Having said that, today we have a great panel. Actually, a lot of my friends and colleagues whom I have known over the years. Let me briefly introduce them, and I would request them, once I introduce them, they can maybe pitch in and say a few words, and then I'll move to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. With that, let me start with Sushri. Sushri Didi, Sushri Sangita Das, she is a PhD scholar currently at McGill University in Canada, and she's working on methane emissions from cattle feedlots. So the focus is hers is to come up with a more accurate way or an accurate framework, which she calls MRV, monitoring, reporting, verification framework, for having precise estimations. Would you like to say a few words before we go to the next one?
Yep, sure. Good evening, everyone. Namaskar Samastunko. First, very big thank you to the organizers for inviting me. It feels really amazing to reconnect with my roots and speak with all of you because not a long ago I was sitting exactly where you are now and wondering how to take my next step and all. So, as Debashi said, I'm doing my PhD in Bioresource Engineering Department at McGill University, Canada. I completed my bachelor's in agricultural engineering from CAT from 2014 to 2018. And then I did my master's in soil and water conservation engineering at CAT from 2018 to 2020. After that, I joined IIT Kharagpur in School of Water Resources to start my PhD in 2020. But in 2022, I decided to start over. I resigned from KGP and then began my new journey at McGill University. I joined McGill in September 2022. And at McGill, my research is on greenhouse gas estimation from cattle feedlots using remote sensing techniques. That's all for me now. Thanks again.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Sucheta Pradhan. She is a PhD scholar in environmental hydrology and water resources at University of Melbourne, Australia. Her current research focus is on understanding atmospheric rivers. She will tell you what atmospheric rivers are and what is their impact or role in extreme rainfall and flooding scenarios. So, Sucheta, so over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Myself is Sucheta, and nice to meet you all. And I did my bachelor's in 2016 to 20 batch in CAT UUT. Then I did my master's in Kharagpur in agriculture and food technology in LWRE department. And in 2022, I joined my PhD in University of Melbourne. And my PhD work is about atmospheric river and its impact on flooding. I was really interested in work with flooding, so I started one of the driver which causes flooding. Atmospheric river is one of them. Uh, Atmospheric river in simple we call river in the sky, which means like before forming cloud, the moisture moves like a river. So this is a very new topic and very interesting, and I'm working on it currently now. Thank you.
Great. Now let me introduce Amanjit. Amanjit Prem Sagar. She recently joined University of Alabama as a PhD scholar. She's in the Department of Geological Sciences. Her research focus is on water quality assessment and ecological investigations of harmful blue-green algae using remote sensing techniques. So you could see the wide variety of research that's being done by the students. So Amanjit, could you introduce yourself a bit?
Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you all. I am 2018 to 22 backgrounds of agriculture engineering from CAET BTech background. Then I did my master's in IIT Kharagpur in agriculture systems management. Then I moved to University of Alabama for my PhD in geology sciences. Right now, I'm doing water quality assessment and specifically the surface water, using hyperspectral and multispectral drone and satellite remote sensing. So it's interesting. And it's nice to see you. That's for me now.
Thanks, Amanjit. And last but not the least, Prabhudat Khatua. He is actually a master's student at IIT Kharagpur, but he's currently in Germany in the mountains. He's saying he's collecting soil samples, but I believe he's just out there enjoying. So he's under dad's scholarship right now, and I think he's going to talk about it later on when we come up with those questions. But his research interest focuses on estimating soil hydraulic properties using evaporation methods. So, Prabhu, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I am Prabhudatta Khatwa. I graduated in the year 2024 from College of Agriculture Engineering, Bhubaneswar only. So I'm doing my master's at IIT Kharagpur Agriculture Systems and Management, and then from there I got my DART scholarship. So I'm here to write my master thesis, and my topic is means estimation of soil hydraulic properties such as hydraulic conductivity and water retention using the method of evaporation over here. So I will be back in the March. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Great. Now that the introductions are out of the way, the idea here, just for everyone to know, is that there are certain set of questions that we received from students, and I'm going to put those questions to these speakers, and I'm going to shuffle those questions among these speakers so that we have a good discussion on those topics. And because you can see the wide variety, not only in research, but also you can understand, one speaker is from Canada, the second one is Australia, third US, fourth is in Germany. So we are covering quite a bit of the globe. And all of these countries have a slightly different system of enrolling students. Particularly given the current geopolitics, it's better to understand from them. So let me get started with the basic question, the first question. So I'm asking this, let me start with Shushri Didi, that we have been in the shoes of some of these students. We were an undergraduate student once. And as an undergraduate student, my first thing that comes to me is even if I'm interested in applying or exploring opportunities abroad, I really don't know where to get started. So, how should one start? Like, what universities, like, how to look for universities? Should I search for universities? Should I search for departments? Should I be more inclined towards, the professor itself? Or what is the criteria here? Like, how should one navigate? So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, thanks, Debashis. That's actually a very great question, I would say. And it's like personally, I spent a lot of time figuring out when I'd also decided to study abroad. Like at first, the whole process can seem so overwhelming, like choosing universities, emailing professors, preparing for English exam or GRE. Then once you understand the flow, it becomes really very doable. First, I would suggest to take the language test or the GRE as per the country you are selecting. I would say in Canada, there is no requirement for GRE. It's the English exam test like the IELTS or TOEFL. So for IELTS, I took the IELTS, not the TOEFL one. And I prepared mostly through free online courses, through YouTubes, and there are a lot of websites that give speaking, reading, and a lot of practice materials that you can go through. It's like I spent almost like 2 to 3 weeks practicing regularly, focusing on listening and speaking, because those are the areas where many of us need fluency. It's not a difficult test, I would say, if you practice consistently. It's like if you read English newspapers or watch English movies and interviews, this also helps with to build your confidence in these exams. And these English exam results are valid for 2 years. So once you give the exam and have the results with you, then start exploring the options. It's like I made a simple list of universities that offered the programs related to agriculture, environment, and remote sensing that I was interested in. So I didn't look at the rankings alone, and I would suggest you the same. Like instead, focus on the professors and the research groups working in that areas that genuinely interested me as well. So first, I made a list of universities and professor with whom my research interest was aligned. Then begin reaching out to the professors. Like I made sure not to send generic emails like now using AIs and all. First, read a few of their recent papers to understand what is their work, and then write a short and very polite message introducing yourself. I usually kept it the emails like in 2 to 3 paragraphs, like who I am, then my background and research experience, and why their work interests me, and how my skills could add value to their lab. In fact, that's how I connected with my current supervisor. It's like, and then you will have an interview with your current supervisor, and then you'll discuss what the projects they are having with them, and if they have funding for it or not. Then once you get selected by the profession, then from there the things get really very easy. It's like so if I summarize the admission preparation process, I would say start early, ideally like 8 to 10 months before your target intake. Then shortlist the universities based on your research areas and the supervisors, not just the reputation of the universities. Email the professors personally, like show genuine interest and knowledge about their work. Do not write a generic email to everybody. Prepare for the English exam or GRE as per the universities, of course, through consistent practice. It's not about like memorization. It's all about your comfort in how you can speak English, how fluent you are in the language. And be open to new research direction. Like flexibility often leads to growth. Finally, remember that getting an admission is not just about grades. I would say it's showing that you were curious, proactive, and ready to contribute to their lab. Like once a professor sees that in you, like opportunities and fundings usually follows. That's from my side. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very comprehensive, I think. Um, but I'll build on that. So maybe Sucheta, you can tell us, and to the response that Shushri gave was to prepare for TOEFL and GRE. Is it the same in Australia as well? Is it you have to have these scores, or is it different?
Yes, it is similar, but there are multiple options. It depends on the university also. For example, for Unimal, it accepts both TOEFL and GRE. It's like TOEFL minimum 80 score. And I want to add few points to Sustri Didi's, because some universities, they require minimum 2 to 3 publication before enrolling PhD, or for example, most of the Australian university, they require at least 1 or 2 master paper publication to get the full granted scholarship in PhD. But in University Melbourne, it's exception. They suggest here the mark, they consider the master's mark, like master's or bachelor's mark, if the overall OGPA or CGPA is above 85. So it's very easy to enter in these kind of universities. So I would suggest check the university criteria. Sometime even without masters, we can enroll in PhD with just bachelor's degree. This is very new. I didn't knew that earlier. So I think this can help you.
Okay, that's great. I'll start with maybe I'll switch it or tweak the question a bit to Amanjit. Uh, now you heard these two talking about exams and Sushri is specifically mentioning, focus on the program or the professor, not on university rankings. So how much do you think that's applicable in US as well? And to what Sucheta was mentioning about uh, transitioning directly from bachelor's to PhD. I know because you and me are from US right now. We know we do have MS plus PhD, so it's called PhD, but actually it's MS plus PhD in US. So how do you think that seems possible, given that? Do you also think that there's a requirement of having publications before you apply to these PhD programs?
Okay, thank you, Devasis Bhai, for. But I would like to say, add on to Sushrititi and Sucheta, Didi, that there is a slight different university system because as I understand the whole scenario of what university you should apply for is based on the very basic one is the QS ranking and R1 university. So many of the university do not make to QS ranking, but they are very good in research programs. They offer good doctoral programs. So they made into R1 research. So they grabbed recently a lot of fundings from different sources, from NASA, NOAA, and Cairo. There are a lot of fundings opportunities. So you also look into those university. Before that, I always have this idea from my seniors and my supervisors that PhDs and masters is all about your research and supervisor. So before applying to specific university, first see all the supervisors, what are their research about, how many publications they have, and what PhD students they have, how their work culture is. If it is like you feel like, okay, this is something you should go for, you should apply for. And the second thing is, I would rather introduce to be very active in the LinkedIn, because in LinkedIn, you would say many opportunities comes in and it's like a first grab and take it opportunities. So like they might have received 1,000 emails over the time they have posted. So you should be very proactive to look for those posts. The third thing is I would say the test exams, when TOEFL and IELTS exams you have mentioned, but for me, I took Duolingo exam. So it's very cheap actually compared to TOEFL and IELTS. It's like 5,000 rupees and you can take it. And the exam structure is very not comprehensive. It's like you need 2-3 days of preparation and give it, and it's very easy. And most of the university in US at least, they accept the Duolingo score, and that's how I get into many. And the fourth thing I would definitely say is that you should always look actively into the administration pages where they post the specific time duration, they post fee waivers. So before applying to different university, because application process would cost you like $80, $90, $50 for, and each university you would apply, it will like cost you a lot. So if you actively look at those university post, they would post the fee waiver time, and you always take those waivers and keep with them and start the application process. And for me, when I started with the application process, for many university, my application was open for at least 1 year. So in that period of time, at least you can find other supervisors you can mail him to. It will give you a good time frame to at least okay, look at what university I can go for, what professor I can choose. So start early, as Sucheta Didi and Sushriti said, but these are the things I would definitely mention: taking the fee waivers, be active in the LinkedIn post, and look at the supervisors, what they're be interactive with. And if you can, do a lot of internships and other things that will help you. Talking about the master's and the PhD, we both have gone through master's and then PhD, but most of the PhDs in USA, you can directly enroll just after the graduation. So they do not require GRAs right now. They just look at your profile, how your CV or resume talk about your research, and that's how they are building onto. And once you enroll in the graduate program, you will get both the master's and the PhD's doctor program. That's all from my side.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for touching that point on fee waiver, and had completely missed it. To my knowledge, and before going to Prabhu, maybe let me build on this. I think as Amanjit mentioned, look for fee waivers, but it's also very important that most often, and I'm just saying to clarify certain things from an undergraduate perspective, uh, most often it just becomes because all of us here have done masters and then came abroad for PhDs, and the reason being, it sort of gives you obviously that time frame to finish your research, a couple of papers, but also that the tag that you get from IIT or any other universities somehow, it shouldn't be, but it somehow gives you a boost, and there is higher chances, higher likelihood of getting a response from a professor abroad. And that is nothing for no reason. It's also because here um, there are funding constraints. It's mostly, especially in US, the funding is not provided by the central government. You have to fight for it in the sense that you have to keep writing proposals, and only about 2 to 3% proposals get accepted. So it's very competitive. And then in that competition, and someone gets a funding, they have to take a decision, and that decision they are going to make based on certain themes, right? Certain criterias. And this is one of the criterias that they look into. So they buy into, if you are cleared, you get exam and you've written a couple of papers and you are in ISC or IIT, it sort of gives them a confidence boost, to bet on you. So keep that perspective. So you have to build, I think, your resume, and then everything becomes a little easier. But again, having said that, you have to keep applying. It's not going to be that easy. But okay, let's transition to Prabhu because he has recently graduated, so maybe a lot of students know him and they don't know us. But Prabhu, whatever he says, they will be registered. So first of all, how does this DAD scholarship works, Prabhu? And maybe it's worthwhile mentioning, what's the collaboration between IITs and Germany universities, and especially like what universities can I reach out to in Germany, right?
Yeah, so what happens? Like in India, we have 23 IITs. In Germany, there are 9 technical universities. So those technical universities want to make a collaboration with IIT because they know that IITs have quality of education. So at first, as our first semester gets over, we have to start applying. Like I sent over 74 mails, and then only 2 got accepted. So those 74 mails were not same exactly. So we have to prepare separate cover letter for that, separate motivation letter for that, means why we are interested in them. So for that you have to consult your guide, and every time he was in touch with me. So my 2 mails got accepted, and they also took my interview. One didn't went well. So just now one got accepted. So technical university, I'm currently in technical university Braunschweig. So its ranking is not good. Means in QS ranking wise, it is 711, which is way behind than IIT Kharagpur. Also, IIT Kharagpur is 215 right now. So, but the professor under which I am right now, he is very well known. Like I was going reading his formulas when did my masters, or when we read the Benven-Montieth equation. He had a paper with Montieth also. So like that. So in Germany, they do not consider ranks at all. And Germany is good for research and focus research oriented. They're very little bit research oriented. And also there are very funds. Fund means like we are getting 992 euros per month for the DAD is giving. So in that we are able to sustain over here. And also there are many projects in if we can work with them, so they can give us 250 euros per month for that also. So I'm currently working on the project, so I will be getting 125 euros extra apart from 992 euros. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So you would you like to mention about the DAD scholarship? Like, what is that scholarship about? Because people do not know about it. So what is that, and how did you
Basically,
apply for it?
yes, so
Yeah.
DART scholarship is like a German academic exchange service, means some students go from India to Germany and some come from Germany to India. So they randomly select, not randomly, means from Germany they select randomly, but for India we have to go through a selection process. Means from every department of every IITs, they select only 2 or 3 students who are having the highest CGPA over the department. So from this year and from CIT only, 2 students have selected from the agriculture department. One is Payal Jaising and second one is me. So she is in Aachen and I'm in Braunschweig. So for that, you have to first register in the DART portal. There is a German Academic Exchange Service.de. There is a DART portal. You have to register over there. And first, you have to send the emails to the professor. Once your mail get accepted, they will send you the letter of invitation. Means until and unless you don't upload the letter of invitation in the portal, your application won't be considered. So once you upload the letter of invitation, means this letter of invitation would only take for like 6 months, 7 months of time. So you have to start very early because German is full of paperwork. Means rather I will also say that the English emails, they don't read English emails at all. You have to curate them in German. You have to translate into German, then they will read. Or else they won't reply. They won't consider nothing. They even don't send rejection mails that we will not accept you. No, just 2 mails I got reply. So send them emails in German language. Send them your statement of purpose, your research proposal in German. So after that, they will send you the letter of invitation. We will upload that letter of invitation in the portal. And in portal also, after then that takes around 50 or 25, 50 or 75 students from India. And they will be calling to the their head office, which is in New Delhi. And then there is another selection process over there. So, and after that, they will be going to Germany. They will be funding them for both flights, health insurance, visa fees, and our stay stipend also.
I see. So language barrier is something that one has to appreciate, acknowledge, and then apply
Yes,
accordingly.
yes, yes,
It is also, I think, let me touch base on it. So it's not only Germany. I think if you're interested in some other countries, for example, Japan or South Korea, I think I have had friends who have done the same thing. So if English is not the primary language of that country, so that is one of the things that you have to keep in mind.
yes.
So let's transition to a second section, which is about, and you touched upon it, Prabhu. Maybe I can go to Sri Didi again. It's about funding opportunities or scholarships. Particularly, I want you to clarify. People usually don't know, and I had the confusion when I was in undergraduate. Like, what's the difference? First of all, what is an assistantship, which is a new word? People usually hear about scholarships and how that assistantship system works. Uh, what is the difference between a teaching assistant and a research assistant? Where is that funding coming from? And again, that funding, depending on the country, might come from different sources. So, if you could just touch base on it and give some specific examples related to your university and how your funding is working, maybe that will throw some limelight on it.
Yeah, sure, Debashis. Yeah, thank you for the question. This is like one of the biggest worries I would say everybody have is like, how will I afford it? Let me tell you honestly, like most research-based programs abroad in Canada, US, Australia, Germany, they are fully funded, especially at the masters if you're taking thesis-based and the PhD levels, because those are research-based programs. In Canada, there are many internal and external fellowships. Like some are funded by the federal government, others by the provincial government. In Canada, the states are called province, so I would say that's provincial government. and several are university specific as well. Like there are alumni scholarship for each universities in Canada as well. So once a professor agrees to take you into their research group, they usually already have a funding from their research grant to support you. And this funding typically covers your tuition fees, provides you a monthly stipend for your living expense, and apart from that, you would have some savings with you. Uh, each province in Canada, like I said, the state has its own provincial fellowship, and you can find the detailed information about all the scholarships of provincial or federal government or the university in the university scholarship webpage. Like in the university scholarship webpage, you can find the eligibility package details, deadline to apply for those scholarships and all. And the awards are really competitive, but the good thing is that your department helps you with the nomination and application process based on your performance each year. For example, at McGill, students can apply for fellowship like NSARG. That's a very common fellowship of Canadian federal government. And FRQNT, it's a Quebec government provincial fellowship. So in addition to that, there are internal fellowships and travel awards that the department nominates the student each year. And beyond that, there are always opportunities, as Debashis mentioned, about research assistantship and teaching assistantship. Teaching assistantship might or research assistantship might be with your supervisor or any other supervisor in other department. These are like in research assistantship, you can work with any other supervisor in any other project, and these fundings come directly from their research grants other than your supervisor's research grant. And if you're doing the teaching assistantship, like in India, this is also common, like teaching assistantship in IITs. So there we are not getting paid like separately from what we get the scholarship. But in Canada and US, I think Australia, everywhere, if you are doing a teaching assistantship, like you are helping the professor or lecturers in some part of their teaching things, like maybe correcting the assignments or preparing the questions or solving some problems for the students, then you get paid each hour, like maybe $25 each hour. So as per the hours mentioned in the position, you get separately at the end of the semester. And same as with the research assistant. Yeah, that's all from my side. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's great. I think we got the first ring bell from Vishwajit sir. We have to speed it up, but yeah, that's great. Um, so I was thinking that you touched upon again, just to be a cautionary remark, that all of this will have some slight variations depending on the university or the country you're applying. Also within the country, if the department is different, it is also department based. So having said that, the generic idea what Sushri Didi gave applies to all of these universities. To Sucheta, I would ask a separate question because I know Sucheta would have heard and prepared her answer to this question. So I'll change the question and I'll ask, how is the work-life balance there in Australia? Because I see you enjoying a lot.
Yeah, yes, the like I enjoy a lot here. You are right. But the thing is, like, I enjoy my work too, my research too, and it pretty much depend of our supervisor also. And both my supervisors are Aussie and they are pretty chill. But when it comes to work, we all are serious. Like we work 4 days in a week very seriously, and we have a very long weekend. That's all we can say.
So it's a 4-day week and 3-day weekend.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, yeah. Maybe again, this is not to give a wrong impression. For example, in US, there are weekends, but work never ends. So you have to work in the weekend as well, depending on again the program and whom you're working with. Um, so maybe Amanjit, you can talk about, given, I'm going to put you a very important question. Maybe you can keep it short and you can frame it in a cautionary statements, but I'm going to put a very strong question. Like, given the current geopolitical scenario, how do you think it's impacting, the research landscape as such, and more importantly, the opportunities after you finish your PhD? Particularly, you can take example of US. Maybe you're more aware of that. So yeah.
Thank you, Devasispai, for the question. I will start with the current situation in my project right now because I'm working under a supervisor who has a great collaboration with NASA, NOAA, and Cairo, its water research funds. And also there is National Science Foundation funds. It was like very competitive before, but right now the geopolitical scenario, how it is, I recently did my summer internship in USGS, which is a federal government. So I get to know there are a lot of fundings are getting cut off, uh, employees are laid off, and given the fact that they are reducing the funding scenario, the competitions of research proposals getting accepted is tough. Given the fact that in my university, there are people I feel facing challenges in terms of getting research funds. But that is one good thing that as you have a teaching assistantship, so people, you work for the university and then they will get paid, and that's how one part of the expenses get covered. But the other scenario is that you already have experiences on RAs and DAs, and you apply for the fellowships, like graduate student fellowships. And that's how another way of getting covered all the stipends and assistantships. That is tough for both supervisors too and students too. And that's how there is a lot of pressure in doing good research, putting out a lot of papers and good journals. That's how you build your academic background, the CV. And when you apply for the research funds, okay, maybe there is a chance that you may get it. So, and the other one is after getting, you graduate from any university, let's just say, currently the US scenario is tough in terms of international acceptance, given the fact that there is a restriction, H-1Bs and other visa stuff, but there is always a OPT and CPT period for after you get graduate. So OPT period is for 3 months in general, but and that should be very related to your work you have done, your graduation or master's. Then you do apply for you extend your OPT and CPT for 3 years. That's basically STEM related work. And then you have a leverage of work period to work in any industries or research institutes for certain period of time. But always I would say that is challenging and competitive. But before that, people also try to pull out more internship opportunities, collaboration with research institution, federal agencies while they are doing their research, and that's how they build the connections, and that's how they do also approach to the later work what they do after PhD, like applying for the job and so. And H-1B, right now the situation in H-1B is a good news for at least for US citizens that you change your visa status from one to another, like let's just for J1 visas or F1 visas to H-1B. So, the visas not applicable to you. They previously mentioned about like 1,100K visa fee for new employee to get hired into a new company that the company sponsored for. That's it, relaxations for, and I would say, yeah, there is competitions. It's tough, but given the fact that you have right opportunities in terms of internship, good collaboration, good research background, that will give you a good edge put you in a different scenario. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, that's great. I'll just quickly ask the last question, and Prabhu, you can respond it quickly. But before doing that, I think it's also worthwhile mentioning, I forgot, is that the coursework in PhD is also different depending on the country you're applying for. For example, in some of the programs, your PhD does not require any formal coursework. It could be, some of the European countries. I think it's also applicable in Australia. So the duration of PhD varies depending on whether you require that or not. But for example, in US, I think it's applicable also in Canada. I might be wrong, but at least in US, you need coursework, and which also, increases your PhD duration. So a lot of factors play into it. So if you're concerned about that, that's one of the aspects to remember. But Prabhu, I will end with you. One of the last question is why and uh, what do you think about your job opportunities, especially because in your part where you are currently in Germany, it's kind of, for example, to be honest, I don't know all the opportunities there. So, and being language barrier is on top of it. It's not a, primarily English speaking country. So how does the job opportunity look like for a PhD who's about to graduate or get, so yeah.
So here, before applying for jobs, there is a site called Job Assist. So it will help us to apply for jobs. But before that, we have to apply for a German language certificate. Means there are levels. So for A2 level, if we are not getting A2 level certification, then you can't apply. So these are the primary thing. Means language is the primary thing, and after that there are many options such as a landscape engineer. Landscape engineer are paid very much in Germany, and there is automation engineer, which is closely aligned to our domain of farm machinery. So, and the next thing is academic lines only, means postdoc and research assistantship, teaching assistant. So they all get paid.
Yeah.
And for
So
soil scientist is also there over here. So yeah.
yeah. So generally speaking, I think after a PhD, you have people either go to do a postdoc, or
Yeah.
they can apply. Now, postdoc is again different. You can do a postdoc in a university itself, or you can do a postdoc in research institutes. Um, Apart from that, there are certain companies who have started giving postdocs. For example, Amazon has a postdoc program right now in US, specifically related to AI and climate. So that's postdoc is one aspect. Second aspect is if you have really good, a record of publications. If you have like 6, 7 publications, there is a good chance if you apply directly for an assistant professor position for you to get it. So maybe Sucheta, is it the same in Australia? Like, is the scenario same? And we'll end it here. Yeah.
Here it's little different. It's not easy to become a like assistant professor first. Like after PhD, people generally join as a lecturer, then they become senior lecturer, then they promote as professor. So
So, but people generally go to industries or they remain in academia, and
uh,
what is the inclination, particularly from an agriculture engineering perspective?
it's like here industrial opportunities quite bit more. So like most of the 90% of the PhD student go for industry, and less than 10% of people stay in research.
I see. I see. I think with that, I'll hand it over. Thank you, everyone. First of all, those were quite a wide spectrum of answers and quite interesting answers. So with that, I'll hand it over to, I think maybe Biswajit sir, and he's going to moderate.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Devashish. We are now open for questions from the audience. So I'm not. I see a lot of people today. We have almost like 25 participants, but I'm not able to connect how many of them are students, and some of them I recognize from my as contemporary to me, but I don't know about the students. So this is open forum now. That if anybody has any questions, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good
Go ahead,
evening to
please.
all.
Go ahead, sir.
Just I have one. I want some information. It is a good thing that now this meeting is very nice. 4 panelists, those who are abroad doing their work, research work, or masters, they have joined, given their experience. Very nice. And so out of the 27, I found 4 are the panelists, 23. Actually, how many beneficiaries? I'll be happy to know. How many are directly the student beneficiaries who will benefit from that is present here? Can you give some idea?
So I have not been able to trace out who are the students because some of the names are very vague in this. So,
That is why
by
I
the way,
mostly found all
for the
senior position, senior persons, most of the 8 to 10 senior persons. And
yeah,
others only by the name, not by the name, only by the mobile number or some SG.
anyway, sir, please go ahead with the question if you have.
No, it is nice. That is, I'm saying if suppose at least 10 students who will benefit, they are there, it will be very nice. And they'll be, so it will be a success. Or by all efforts you are putting should be of huge. And regarding someone who is asking about the employment, my view, once I suppose somebody does from a degree, BTech from Odisha and remains in Odisha, he is confined to the state. And if he is doing a degree from India, he is confined to national level. Anywhere, any state, any university, agriculture university, any research institute. But once somebody goes out, he becomes an international person. So doing PhD or masters in Germany doesn't mean only confined to service in Germany or Canada. If it is from US, only from US. Anywhere they can apply and get. There are a lot of opportunity. And that is why students, those who have participated here, I will suggest try. And once you do your higher studies from abroad, you become international scientist or agricultural engineer. Lot of scope is there. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Satyananda Swami is ex-dean of CIT for those people who have done recently in the college, and is very senior. Actually, he was a professor to me also. So, and I'm an 84 batch graduate. So that's how it is. Who else? Somebody else, if they want to. Okay, I have a question for the panel. Actually, how difficult or how easy is it to, you know, work in the in your universities and all? Okay, you have a lot of colleagues or people, but what is in the general social life? How easy or difficult is it? Are you? I mean, is there any? I don't know. Maybe racism or you know. Barriers of that sort when you go out socializing? Anybody you can take. I'm asking all 5 of you.
The social life is pretty nice because here, University Melbourne have lots of tie-up with so many IITs. So every year, like 1 to 2 Indian students come here to study 1 or 2 year as a joint PhD student. So the Indian Association is here, like pretty. There are lots of Indian students here, so uh, so it's enjoyable.
Okay, Sushri here.
Yeah, from my personal experience in Canada, I can honestly say that I have never faced discrimination. It's Canada is one of the most multicultural countries, I would say, in the world, especially in the cities like Montreal, where I am. You'll find people from every background, like Asian, African, European, all living and studying and working together. And what I really appreciated here is that diversity is valued. Like the professor and peers are genuinely curious to learn about your culture, all your experience, and everything. Like I often get to share about Indian festivals like Diwali, Holi, and people love hearing about it. There's like a mutual sense of respect for each other. And of course, like anywhere in the world, there can be moments when someone's word or tone feel unfamiliar or different. But it's not intentional. It's like a cultural difference in communication, I would say. Like when you stay open, kind, and confident in who you are, those differences usually disappear quickly. For me, I have always felt safe, respected, and included both at McGill and in the broader community. Canadians in general are very polite and welcoming, so there is no fear of discrimination that should hold you back. Instead, like we can focus on how we can build meaningful connection with the people from all backgrounds. And when you share your culture with pride and stay open to learning from others, I guess you'll realize that diversity is not a barrier. It's like a strength that will make your experience abroad even more enriching. Yeah. Thank you.
I think so. Sanjay has a question. Sanjay Kumar Das. Sanjay, do you have?
I don't have appropriately any question, but let me tell you that it was really very
You're on
good
mute.
experience. Can you all listen me?
Yeah.
So there is no specific question, but I'm very happy to see all my students gradually transforming to scientists of international repute. And I think the moderator did not tell anything about his experience. Devashish. Anyway, so this is really excellent for the students. In fact, when Sangeeta also visited us last very recently, she had openly expressed her willingness to support or mentor any student who is interested to go abroad. So that open invitation was also shared with all the students. I understand that there are some students who may be feeling shy to express or ask any question. But let me tell you that here the panelists, whether it is Sangeeta or Debashish or Ammanjit or Sucheta or even Prabhudatta, who is also very known to you. So they will all be supporting, but you have to first go one step forward to them so that they will be able to help you. And also we had another interaction meeting with Dr. C.R.I. sir from University of Nebraska and a panel of scientists from University of Nebraska and other universities, where also they explicit acquiring of some extra qualifications during your study period. So that also you must try. So the system is there, your seniors are there in different universities, in different countries, they can help you. But only thing is that you have to make yours. This is also very, very important. Thank you so much, Sangeeta, Devashish, Amanjit, Sucheta, Prabhudatta. Very glad to see all of you. And in a lighter sense, कहिबी तमने एते सुंदर मते मोटिवेट कर देछ मु भी भाबुची बड़ हैला माने मु ऑस्ट्रेलिया को जेबी पीएचडी करिया पई कारण मु एठी इंडिया रे मोर केबे वीकेंड गला मु जानि परलिनी सेठी 3 दिन वीकेंड माने मु बड़ हैले ऑस्ट्रेलिया को पीएचडी करिया पई जेबी थैंक यू सो मच
I'll just it's glad to see you, sir, and a lot of other names I'm saying.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you,
very
Sanjay. Dwarika, I'll come to you. The Divya Ranjan is waiting, I suppose, with the question. I'll come to you next.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Divya
all.
Ranjan.
Devashish, Susri, Sucheta, and all. I also see Sucheta quite differently. Thank you, sir. It is a very nice to see all my juniors and also my seniors all working with, in this group. And Swami sir asked a nice question: how many are the recipients? I see 5 people are there, but we are there to transmit your talks to them. And this is the beginning, I think. And we should take it forward because we have started so many things for MTech, PhD, all these things. So now we should drive our students towards abroad. This is the time has come, and Devashish is quite a good leader, I know. And with his support, I think in future we will prepare our students accordingly so that a MOOC will be there so that we can strengthen our research. And also we have so many good projects here in CIT. You can see remote sensing, GIS modeling, people are working, PhD scholars are working, and we have very good labs also we have developed. And now you see Indian government is also moving towards technology. As you have done in agriculture system management, we have a project here at CIT on satellite-based crop yield estimation. And also we have a prestigious reward project where we are working mostly on watershed modeling, application of remote sensing, GIS, of these things. And we have in the reward project also, we have 50 staffs working in field and also in the lab. So with your collaboration, also your suggestion, also we can move ahead, and also we may have means mutual publications. So I may contact you sometimes, you guys, and we will make one group, and also we will motivate our students with your help. This is very nice discussion. First time I have participated in this, maybe second time in two TikToks I have attended. This is very nice for me. Thank you all. Thank you, Susan.
Nivaranjan, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, Vishwajit sir, for organizing this eye-opening session. So here I don't have any questions actually. I missed the opportunity to meet Vishwajit sir because I have done my PhD. Like my thesis is under evaluation from NIT Rourkela, Department of Food Process Engineering. So at that time, I think I have attended one international conference. So I missed sir because he visited for a conference. He visited to NIT Rourkela. And also, like, I know Devashish is my batchmate. So also Sushri Didi is here. And also, I also met her many times before. And now Manjit is here. Nice to see all these people. They have actually settled in a better place. Like, I also remember Manjit was asking me after I think GATE score, should she join NIT Rourkela for food processing engineering or system management in IIT Kharagpur. So I told, I have given examples of Devashish. So it's nice to see you all there. And also I have seen here less participant because last week I have visited to OUT. I have met the first year students. So I was talking about the job prospects like for us. I was giving all these examples, like those who are outside and those who are also inside doing better. So they were like too much curious to know many things. Like I was telling them how to go for different kind of jobs and all those things. Many were interested for like higher studies and all. So I think they missed this session. But anyway, like in the further also upcoming many sessions will be there. So nice to meet you all you. And let's say like have a great day. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Divya. Unless anybody else has a question, I think we can stop now. But we have some time, and if somebody is interested, we can go still talk about some subject.
I'll just pitch in if
Sure.
yeah. I'll just pitch in. I just wanted to show gratitude for, first of all the speakers who agreed without saying anything. They didn't show any tantrum at all. So they agreed in the first moment I asked them, and they are pretty close to me. And also Biswajit sir. But more, I'm very much thankful, to all the people who attended, from Sanjay sir to everyone. I see, my classmates, my seniors. A funny note that I wanted to, because Sanjay sir told me to share an experience, is how wide or variety of people you'll see here. When I landed here for the first time, I see a person at the airport, and I assumed he's an Indian, and it was my naivety, and I started talking Hindi, and he turns out to be from Sri Lanka, right? So you have to be, you have to, remove that mask and that thought process that everyone who looks like us as are Indians. It's not going to be that. It's quite multicultural, and a lot of people from around the world are coming here. So yeah, with that note, I think I'll stop.
Right. Actually, before we close, those who are new to this Tea Talk, just for the information, we upload these recordings to a YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel, Tea Talk. And Devashish is the coordinator for that. So I should mention this. Anyway, so this will be uploaded in a few days, and I will be sending out the invites to the link to that YouTube channel for the students who had responded to the survey through email. And then you can go, those who have not been able to join, you can share it with them also to take a look at if they're interested. With that, I think we'll close today, dot on time, in fact. And that is for the first time, I suppose, that we are dot on time.